Alright, they gotta give me 1 second because I'm about to have to switch over. Bathroom. Gotta run to the bathroom real fast. Give me 1 second.
What's up, Ma?
He went to the bathroom.
Huh?
I said he just went to the bathroom.
Oh, man. I'm glad I ain't signed up for no Snipes TV tomorrow. This Wi-Fi is poo-poo.
It is.
It's terrible, Des.
I figured it was gonna be. They ain't got no
That
Ethernet.
shit running. I might have to hotspot my phone to try to play my game.
Oh, you gonna be lagging like a fool.
I think my phone runs faster than this Wi-Fi here.
Yeah,
Is
it's
my
gonna be
shit
lagging.
echoing on your side?
A little bit.
You there?
Yeah.
It must be his TV.
That's probably exactly what it is.
Hold on. Yo.
Yo.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. We just ate at this spot. Got me a burrito. They just tore my Taco Bell days apart.
What you mean?
I ain't ever eaten a Taco Bell again. Yo, this burrito was, good God.
It was that good?
Yo, Des, I ain't gonna lie. She was like, the girl was like, this stuff is spicy, so watch it. It's real hot. Man, I was tearing that shit up. That shit was good.
Oh yeah.
It was a regular burrito they put. It was just like what they call pastor, which is like pork, but you don't eat. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm back.
What's up, Mom?
What's up, Phil? Alright, I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. I may have to put my headphone down a few times during this podcast. You gotta pardon me. I'm on a detox. You make sure your voice is on, share before we start. I gotta, hold on 1 second. I need to figure out where's my phone because I have somebody that added me to a party, but that person didn't say anything, so, alright.
Hold on. Oh, you gotta walk me through this 1 second. Where I want to check that. It's under party settings, probably. You know, I'm an old head.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So you gotta tap them 3 dots and go to settings in the party.
Party settings. I think I'm good, but let me double check.
Let me see. I can check.
Three dots. Do I want to go to party settings? Shared media, right?
Oh, you on. I can hear you.
You can hear me on
I
that too?
figured I should be good
Okay.
anyway.
I gotta catch up with these comments because I can't hear. Hold on 1 second.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I'm about to add the game of the week people to Snipes chat really fast so we can get this settled. I just added you. Now I need to add. I think this is him. Can you? Okay. 1 second.
It did.
All right, so we hit Phil. So,
All right, never mind.
first things first, I wanted to start off this podcast by saying we have the most viewed Snipes stream. I don't know if it's all time, but we up there somewhere. And Snipes has been on air for a very long time. So it does just show the amount of love that Blitz has, not only from the inside, but outside as well. And obviously people are sharing streams and things of that sort. Now, I was going to get to all the undefeated teams, but first things first, I want to talk about the New York Jets. The New York Jets recently defeated the Tennessee Titans maybe just an hour ago or less. And what was a nail biter? I think the Titans use of wood. He kind of got down to the last few minutes, or maybe a minute or less, and he threw an interception. The wide receiver was wide open. Had he threw the ball earlier, he threw an interception, and Chris moved on to 4-0. And I want to talk about Chris for a second because Chris has one of the, if not the best, touchdown interception ratio, and he has it with Zach Wilson. The Jets are not a powerful team. They have a few players here and there, but he has 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the year. He's passing for 66%. Jason Crowder is his leading wide receiver right now. And, he has, I think, just want to verify, he has 9 interceptions on the year. Now, we're going to break down his schedule, so I'm about to pull up his schedule onto the screen. He has, in what I would call, a very easy schedule. He started off the year with Raxey, the Panthers user, who built up a lot of fire on the offseason, especially with Stephon Gilmore moving to the Panthers. He then went on and beat Gio, the Patriots user. He turned around and beat Grandmaster Yoda, T-Day, who, by the way, was running the ball better than ever. I think he had 200 rushing yards week 1 with Dalvin Cook. And then he turned around and he also just beat Woods. So he shut down Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry back-to-back weeks. Now, unfortunately, he does travel to Atlanta next week in London. So he won't even be in Atlanta. They're traveling to London on an early Sunday morning game, which will obviously be something that we talk about. But if you look at the rest of his schedule, he plays the Patriots. He already beat him. He played the Bengals, who are 1-2 right now. And he plays the Colts, who are undefeated, but we'll get to them later. He plays his brother, and what I'm looking forward to a Snipes game on this game, by the way. I'm trying to set it up in advance. Chris versus T's are brothers, as you guys may or may not know, and so we definitely want that to go down on Snipes TV. He turns around and plays Maceo, who's not playing too great right now. Then he turns around and plays the Texans. He plays Ike, who is, in the middle of the pack right now, and he turns around and plays the Saints. Then he plays the Dolphins, the Bucks, and then he ends the year with the Bills. So he doesn't have a tough schedule in front of him, and for those of you who participated in the Pick'em, you would have seen that I had an option whether or not Zach Wilson was passing for 35 touchdowns. Some voted no, some voted yes, but through 4 weeks, he has passed for 12 touchdowns. So, if anything, he's on pace for way more than 35. Right now, in fact, it would probably be around 48, 50 touchdowns, if that was the case. So I wanted to give a shout out to Chris. Whether he's a contender or pretender will be left up to when everyone else is joining the party. But right now, I think he's good enough. I just am not sure how he's going to run up against users like Dez and Ike, and whether or not he can run up against certain users in the AFC. Because I would say that I don't believe that he can. Not only because of the team that he has, even with the skill that he has, I just don't see him beating teams, even like the Falcons. I'm very interested in seeing how he plays Dez. But even if he loses that game, he's 4-1 through 5 weeks. Not many Jets users would even be 4-0 from the get-go, just no matter who they play. So shout out to Chris. He is one of the undefeated teams left. Next week could change or it could stay the same, and that's up to him. But shout out to Chris. Jets users is definitely moving on, and he actually will be playing Dez, the Falcons user, who is also undefeated right now. But we also have to talk about the Snipes games tomorrow because maybe he will not be undefeated after tomorrow. And so we'll see how that goes. Second, I wanted to talk about the Steelers and the Packers yesterday, and I also want to talk about the Rams and the Bears. There are 2 Snipes games so far. We have a third one tomorrow, which we'll talk about between the Falcons and the Washington football team. First things first, Owen went out. Wow. Really? Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Richard lost connection.
Yeah. Really?
Somebody booted you from the league, man.
Nah. This is EA. This is ridiculous. Wow. He said even Madden, no, we don't talk about that game. I know, man, but we got to talk about it. It was the first game up against, Owen, who was a bottom ranked user at the time. Obviously, rankings come out around week 8. And so we got to go back and we got to talk about this game really fast before they kick me out again. So Owen went into this game. We did an interview with them too. To figure out what was going on between the Rams and Chicago. And both of them were talking about how aggressive they were going to pass the ball and how things were going to be different. This is what I will say, and I think, it speaks for everybody. First of all, thank you for being the first 2 to step up on Snipes TV. I'm sure it was a big moment, at least for the Madden community in here. But week 1, Owen played absolutely terrible. There's no other way to put it. I think Owen played one of the worst games we've probably seen in a very long time. As you can see, his QBR at that time was 12.5. He only made 5 of 18, passed for 27%. Matthew Stafford had more of a good day. I think it was kind of experience versus non-experience. And that doesn't go to say that Owen won't meet Truth again and beat him. But he really, 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 really played beyond terrible. I did like his run game with David Montgomery, but a lot of that came, in garbage time, I would say, or just as a result of him getting tired of passing. But this game really came down to experience versus non-experience. Cooper Kupp had 85 yards that led the entire game. Cole Kmet, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, decent tight end for him, but there was nothing that was going to stop Truth at this game. So I have to say this as our opening game before we get to our second game, which is the Packers and the Steelers. Very good game, very good way to start off, but Owen definitely, and we'll talk about the progress of Justin Fields, not only this podcast, but as time go. But Owen definitely started off very, 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 very ugly. He is 0-3 right now. What's up, Ike? So there has to be some type of hope for Justin Fields. And the big thing about it was that going into the stream for Snipes TV, he was speaking on how he was going to get better and how he was going to set up things for Justin Fields, how he had planned. And I'm going to be the first to tell you, Owen, you have no excuse. We had almost 8 or 9 weeks. We had almost 5 or 6 weeks of a extended off season for this Madden, and the type of results that you're giving right now with your team is just unacceptable. I think Marquise Goodwin is good for you deep ball if you use the deep ball. And didn't know this is an Owen roast podcast. No, I'm not roasting him. And Allen Robinson, he has to do, get him involved, do a little bit better. But I do see that you are passing for touchdowns more and more, but get that comp percentage up a little bit. So that was my reveal and my thoughts on the first game. This is my first game. So, move to my second game. And I have Ike and Dez, and Reese is on his way. But moving to my second game, I have to go to this game yesterday because yesterday I hit up Snipes. Well, we hit up Snipes yesterday. And we was like, listen, we have this rivalry that's going down between the Steelers and the Packers. And this rivalry was supposed to be something special. And we don't call it a rivalry.
Yesterday.
I know. But we don't call it a rivalry because of the head-to-head, because I don't think that's the reason. I just think there was a lot of trash talk leading into it. I'm gonna say this in a Pooty. You traded for Tua, so you learned your lesson. But I have to say this in the nicest way. You are absolute garbage. There is no other way to put it. I think that yesterday was really bad. And I'm going to chuck it up to you also having... Actually, let me not call you garbage, because your defense, to me, was actually really good. I thought your defense was really... I felt like, what's his name? Joshua Dobbs. There were throws that were wide open. He missed it. But there were a lot of passes and things. And sometimes when we watch the game, we see different things. But I don't see, he said, give it the kids, young kids lingo. He's dog water. Yeah, I mean, and I'm going to let Ike and them chip in. I thought yesterday, this is my true honest thought when I was watching the game. At first, I thought the game was going to be really close. Now, here's what I will say, and I have to nose wipe season NWS. You know, that's what what is his name? That is what Snipes says, but I have to agree with Snipes when he said Pooty did not give up. Pooty actually at one point was making his way back up, but I don't even think Tua is the answer to this.
I think when Pooty started coming back, Reese went and made a sandwich or something.
I don't know. I mean, I think that
you said Domino's run the doorbell.
I think that I really think that, like, you know, I even want to shout out Pooty for this. I think when he even played Joker, he gives the fights. He gives the fights. It's not like the fights aren't there. So that 1-3 record, it may not speak all the way to, you know, how hard he's been playing, but golly, I mean, he is 28th ranked defense. I think he's 30th in passing. Yeah, he's 30th in passing. So people are passing against his defense. On top of that, he has 13 interceptions on the year through 4 games. So 9 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. So go ahead.
What is his next 4 opponents? Let me see if he can bounce back here.
So he has Denver, who, by the way, he's talked trash to a lot. And I think T-Day's kind of fed up. T-Day actually has to win that game because T-Day is really falling off as well. He turns around and plays Zizo, who definitely, you know, has not. By the way, I'll get to him soon because he's kind of shocking me.
Hey, Zizo don't lose every game too.
Yeah, he was the one that beat Very, but we're gonna get to that one. Then he plays Cleveland Browns. Then he turns around and plays Owen. But my problem is that Pooty said he needs a party invite. So if you all want to open the doors to Pooty, can somebody invite him, please?
We don't need no party invite.
But what I'm saying is, and I'm going to let y'all fish on it because you know Pooty better than I do. Defensively, I thought he played well. I don't think he's 28th ranked. But that all-out blitz that he does, while it was working on Aaron Rodgers, what is he going to do against, you know, mobile quarterbacks? What would he do against he plays the Cardinals? No, he doesn't play the Cardinals soon. That's the Browns. But he has a very, I would say, tough schedule coming up. And I don't even think the Browns is not a team to play with neither. But offensively, there's no way that you could have thought that Joshua Dobbs was halfway to answer. So go ahead, Ike and Dez and Phil. Y'all can fish on Pooty. Yesterday game just kind of made me like, what are you doing?
I definitely agree about that. Josh Dobbs not being the answer. I was personally a product of a bad quarterback, and I had to switch my quarterback mid game. You can ask Ike. He was finna win.
He said he'd be very anti. Oh,
Who's that, Pootie?
Zizo.
Yeah, Zizo's trash, man. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, let's get to that. Let's stay on. Yeah.
Yeah, we thought it was gonna be a good adding him to the league, but after 3 straight blowouts, he has me rethinking.
Yeah, Phil's coming, y'all. Phil's coming. He's in here. He's about to speak soon. Go ahead.
Yeah, it has me rethinking, and I think I seen it in the chat where his boy Chris spoke up and said, "Hey, lay off Zizo. He's played some tough opponents. Not hearing Blitz, man. There's no sympathy, man. He talked big trash.
Who he played?
I don't even know, man. But he's calling out Phil, asking why he ducking. He has 0 wins. You just gotta show up, man. I mean." You can't keep talking about who you beat in preseason or when we was waiting. You know, everybody in Blitz has beaten everybody. So, you know what I mean? You can't keep holding on to that. You got to show up now. We in league play. You know, this is where the big boys play. I'm expecting you to make a turnaround. Hopefully. I mean, you got Seattle, pretty good team, got some weapons. But, yeah, we need you to show up, man. It starts this week against Phil. Phil struggling. He need a win this week, so it should be a good game between you guys.
What is your opinion on Pootie? I mean, so I just found out that he traded Joshua Dobbs in his first for Tua, and I'm a little bit mixed on it, but go ahead.
Yeah, I seen in the chat that Maceo has been saying that Tua's trash. He can't win with him. Maceo's now sitting at 1-3. So I don't think he's a fan of Tua. Is it the left hand or is it just Tua in his own?
Maybe the left hand. Maybe the left hand.
I can imagine left-handed quarterbacks are a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
But we all know Tua came from Alabama. You know, Pootie likes to play with Alabama players. So it'll be interesting. I mean, Dobbs in the first, I guess it's correct. Tua's rating is like a 71, 72, 73. So, you know, if he felt like that was the trade to make, I mean, Pootie's first could end up being top 5. So, you know, you could look at that trade a little bit later on in the season and say, well, damn, that was a pretty good trade. But I don't know. I mean, you tend to play better with players you like. So we'll see how Pootie tries to turn around the season, but he can't get too far behind because, you know, Maul and Crazy Ants, Hefe, I think, you know, they're going to keep winning games, and inside the division, they're going to keep, you know, winning games. So we'll see. He put up a pretty poor performance. He put up a pretty poor performance on Snipes, I will admit that. Packers are a tough team. Reach got a good scheme, man, going on, man. He runs I like to call it a levels concept. It's hard to stop, man. He has some weapons, but
motherfucker too.
Yeah, I thought Steelers defense would step up. I mean, with Watt and Minka, and you know, I think he traded Devin Bush. You know, which I probably wouldn't. Linebackers seem a little bit more prevalent this Madden. But we'll see, man. I mean, it was a tough one. Nose wipe season. It was good to get on Snipes and. You know, and see everybody turn up. But there's a lot of football left. I ain't going to count Pootie out yet. He's played some close games. He has the ability to turn the season around, so I ain't going to give up on him yet, but it was a bad performance on Snipes.
Yeah. I mean, and just to talk about, we're going to flip over to the other team. The Green Bay Packers right now are also high-flying, 4-0. Aaron Rodgers has a league-leading 19 touchdowns right now. 1,500 yards, and as I was telling Dez before the podcast started, he's on pace for 80 passing touchdowns.
He got 19 through how many?
19 through 4 games.
He got lucky against me. I ain't gonna lie.
But I mean, I want people to realize that Devontae Adams has 13 of those 19 touctouchdowns.
You got to double him, man. You got to
just like real life.
Yeah,
they rely on Adams.
I don't see even watching who's Mark Beaver. He said he still got to play me twice. I need to figure out who's
Oh, that's Vikings. That's
Okay.
Mark B.
Okay. What's up, Mike? Mark.
What's
so
up, Mark? Shout out, man. Appreciate
we're
you
gonna look at
joining in.
Reese's schedule because part of the question that we're gonna get to is who's the pretenders and who are the contenders. And we're gonna pick one each, and I'll let everybody go around as one pretender, one. But
See,
first
like
things
that Reese
first.
game though that
Yeah.
I just played.
Who's this? Who's
it was
this
a
speaking?
3-point
That's Phil.
game. That's Phil.
Yeah, that was for the
It was
audience.
a 3-point game until that one fumble, and then he scored 2 garbage touchdowns after that. So that game looked worse on the
Then what-
books than it actually was.
Than what it was.
I'm gonna be honest
Yeah, 'cause
though.
the score was 26-23 with like 2 minutes left in the game.
Ooh,
So-
so Reese like front runner. He won't tell the real story.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you that part. It was 26-23, less than 2 minutes. Trey Lance fumbled. He scored a touchdown, and then basically it was the end right there.
Well, yeah, that's what happened with me and T
It seems
Day.
like Trey Lance been selling you, Phil.
How's he selling? Yeah, I mean, hey, that was
He's-
my fault.
Pootie said,
He
so
did
when
a
I
little
fumbled-
blitz, I ran straight into the cornerback, and he fumbled. I mean,
Pootie
that
said
was
so when
on
I
me. It wasn't on
fumbled,
Trey
he was
Lance.
up 3. I think that. So we're gonna go through reschedule real fast. I mean, he plays the Bengals next. I think that's a win. He plays the Bears. I think that's a win. Football team, Cardinals and Chiefs. Week 7, week 8, and week 9. That's the games that we need to circle. And I'm gonna tell
Alright,
you
we're gonna
why.
circle them for Reese.
Yeah, I think the football team is better than what we think, and I think we will see them tomorrow against the Falcons.
That's Snipes TV tomorrow. Right?
Yeah. Yep. And that's the game that we
Highlight
talking
game
about.
right there.
That's the game that we talking about next because I'm gonna say this: the football team. I'm gonna get to them next, so I'll let them sizzle. He turns around. He then plays Very, who by the way is showing out with Kyler Murray. Then he turns around and he plays Tad, who is a user that really does not. I mean, he's not bad. I mean, the dude hasn't played the game until his first Blitz game.
That just mud stump.
Well, I think when I play Tad, the issue is that you don't know who to guard. But let me say this to Tad, and I'm sure he'll listen, or I'm sure he'll get back to him. You trading Hardman to me was the dumbest decision you could have ever made. I
agree.
I
He
just
traded him to you?
think. No, I don't know who. I gotta.
Yeah, he traded him to Very. He traded him to the Cardinals.
You trading Hardman is, and I remember somebody in the old Madden League telling me this: when you get to the playoffs, you're not gonna be able to pass the ball the way that you want, because that's when defenses, for some reason, play a whole different level of defense
usually, not
in the
to cut you off,
playoffs.
'cause
Go ahead.
usually during the regular season, a lot of people are either
Stat chasing.
stat chasing,
Yeah.
award chasing, trying to get XP games, and then the playoffs you play totally different, man. It's whatever
Yeah,
it
you
takes
lock
to
in.
win. You slow the clock, you slow the game down. You don't call that same pass play on 2nd and 7 that you would call in the regular season. So I fully agree with that. But go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, I just think that Tag got to be careful too. Get some sort of run game. I think Patrick Mahomes, that arm is going to forever be there. But if you can get some sort of run game, because when you play Joker, I know we talk about him and things like that and joke around with him and stuff like that, but I don't think you're beating Joker if you don't have some sort of defense at all. Because he's going to pass with no matter who the quarterback is. He's going to pass the ball. And then more than anything,
I think Tad will get Joker just for the simple fact that Tad got a pass rush. And Joker ain't going to be able to throw them deep passes that he likes.
maybe. I mean, D-Mac put 49 on Joker, yeah, but Joker to me.
Hey, did he? D-Mac put 49 on?
Yeah, this morning, yeah.
He won?
No, he lost, but he
Who was
lost.
the final on that game?
I don't know, because I know Joker went down and scored an extra touchdown, so he was up by 2 touchdowns. Let me go look. He was up by 2 touchdons. So he won 64-49. Yeah.
Damn, he gave a 50 to D-Mac.
But I think we can say this before we move on to the other game. Before we move on to tomorrow's Snipe game, Reese is a good user, and I think what makes him better is that he opens his playbook. But he also has a Mr. Reliable in Devontae Adams. And I have not seen anyone double him yet. Now, I didn't watch the 49ers Packers game, so I'm not sure. But I have not seen anybody double Devontae Adams yet. And the more you do not double him, the touchdowns already. Against the Bengals, the Bears, he's going to destroy the secondary.
You got to make Valdez, Scantling, whatever else.
Yeah.
You got to make those guys beat you, man. I mean...
And Reese is not one of them players that's going to stop. So once fourth quarter hit, with 2 minutes left, he's going to run up the score. Ask Pooty. The game was much closer. The game was much closer than what it ended, but he went back. So I got to jump over to this team, and I know Dez in here with his Falcons, but I got to talk about this team, the football team. I am a little bit mixed in with how I feel about him as far as a user. He did trade for Drew Lock. He beat D-Mac 38-17, turned around and beat Dre 35-17, and then he beat Tease 28-24. The hard part about grading him, I think, is that he hasn't really beaten anybody. Tease is actually a respectable user, but he beat the Giants. You said again?
I said that D-line, he got crazy.
Oh, yeah. So he has 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the season, which tells me that he is a go-getter. He's going to throw the ball up no matter what.
Who's that, with Drew Lock?
With Drew Lock, yep. And Terry McLaurin obviously has 5 touchdowns, but it scares me going into tomorrow's game. I wouldn't make a bet on him because I just wouldn't. I'm not sure how to feel about him.
Oh, football team better bring his A game because them Falcons looking past him.
Listen,
waiting for it.
Yeah, listen. We had to. He said that's how T scored 14. Yeah, so the score was actually 28-10. I don't know. I'm gonna give you some stats first before you guys make your predictions. So, just to be locked in, the football team is 18th ranked in passing yards, 20th ranked in rushing. So his offense is not as powerful, probably as expected. He does have 8. He only has 8 sacks through 3 games with that D line, 13 interceptions. And now we're going to go over to the Falcons because I believe the Falcons had a QB problem at the beginning, but I see they're starting to find out who they truly are. And so as far as Dez and the Falcons, I would say that he is 6th ranked defense, number 4 against the rush, and 15th ranked, 15th ranked offense. His starting quarterback is this Daniel Jones.
Well, he just got him. That's his new toy. Don't let him
boy.
sleep.
Oh boy!
So this will be the first game with Daniel Jones. He's
Yeah.
sitting back there quiet. He's quiet right now. He was waiting for it.
Man.
He said Dez hasn't played nobody, and Carmen said that's nice. Oh wow, he said that's nice. So let me ask you this. So I know that Kyle Pitts is a beast, but how good really is he in this game? How good is he, Dez? I really.
Man, I can't throw it to him. They covering him.
Okay. Because I see he only got 240 yards. I expected. I know it's probably only through 4 games, but I thought maybe that you would have like 500 yards with him by right now. Now as far
played the first half of the first game, so
that's only a half. Dez.
So my question is, and by the way, I need you to set up an interview with Snipes. I don't. It'll probably be tomorrow. I don't know what time he gets home. I don't know what time Carmen gets home. I got to figure that out. But I know that.
We'll add them both. We're add them both
Okay.
to the chat. We can get that going.
All right. But I'm gonna start off with Phil. Phil, what is your opinion for tomorrow? Well, what is your prediction for tomorrow's game? I don't think we've watched Carmen play at all. So
See, the one I don't know. I haven't watched any of the Washington football team. hearing them stats, see, Des got a lot of moving parts. It's hard to say what he's going to bring each week,
What's up, Reese?
especially how many trades. Every week, that boy trading something. Like, I was just looking at the football team. This be the first week he goes against his middle linebacker. He's going against Deion Jones this week.
Carmen said he's off on weekdays, by the way, so y'all can get it in.
Appreciate you, Carmen. Shout out, man. Appreciate you.
If I made a prediction, I'm gonna lean towards Dez right now. He might have a quarterback that he actually likes, because he's selling on Matt Ryan. He always gives up on him every Madden we play.
Matt Ryan had a
So-
good year.
Okay,
I don't
so
want to hear that, Dez. If he was having that good of a year, you wanted to trade it for another quarterback.
I only
So-
traded what I traded for Daniel Jones. I only gave up Kaepernick.
yeah, which I was shocked by the way. So he said Dez traded Dion. Wait a minute, whoa, Dez. Okay, so we getting something on you. So Dez traded Dion for a 1 and 2 after he agreed to trade him to me for a 1 and 2. So Dez, you made a
Let me
promise.
explain. I ain't
Hold
make
on,
no promise.
you made a promise to
I ain't
trade
make no promise.
Dion
Who was
Jones
that?
to the Jets organization,
Oh,
and
that's
you
Chris.
traded him where?
Let me
To the
speak.
Washington
Let me
football
speak.
team. He
What?
traded who he's going
Oh
against.
my gosh!
Exactly, man.
Let
In
me
my
speak.
division. To that defense? Damn.
Yeah.
Can I speak first?
You see them Washington linebackers? Jeez.
Can I
Jeez,
speak?
they got two
Go
rookies
ahead, you can
like
speak,
87
but
speed and
you can speak, but the Jets.
In my defense, I tried to get one of them DNs, but I looked at the schedule because they both offered the same thing, and I honestly think football team gonna lose more games than Chris.
Mm. But
So you
here's
based
my
it off
question.
draft position. So you
Yeah,
based
that's
it
my
off draft
question.
position.
You,
That's
but,
exactly what I did. I couldn't.
Projected draft position.
Exactly.
but Deion Jones not a big part to your defense.
I mean, he was, but shit, he's gone.
Or you wasn't thinking about seeing him week 4, maybe? But I just heard that Dion is on the plane to Jacksonville.
Oh, LD ain't playing around.
Ooh.
And I can guarantee you he might have got more. I don't know. Oh, that would be a good put.
I was talking to LD for Trevor Lawrence, but LD don't fucking respond to his DMs.
LT responds.
He said he thought you. He
LT.
said you thought you could get a higher pick from. I mean, here's the thing. So tomorrow's game, I think, and did you give your prediction yet?
Nah, not yet.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough. I mean, Carmen doesn't stream much, so it's hard to kind of evaluate his game. I know he joined us last Madden towards the end. I think he played our last season, half of that, and I could tell by some of the wins he had. And he took the Raiders team over, and of course, Barry had the Chiefs and played very pretty tough. So just putting all that together, you can tell. I mean, he can play. You know what I mean? He definitely could play. But it's hard to not see any footage on him, which probably is the best to his detriment. You know what I mean? Maybe he wants to hide some things until it's time, playoff time. You know, which is fine. But I mean, the Washington football team got a good team, man. I mean, especially adding Deion Jones to that second level defense. We all know what that D line looks like. Yeah, there's he better be able to run around because Sweat and Allen and Payne and those guys, Chase Young, they're gonna be pinning their ears back. Atlanta's
down.
Atlanta's
I
offensive
thought it
line
was a
isn't
Matt
great.
Ryan. Yeah.
Dez looks at Pitts, but Dez won't force it to him. So that's a good thing on him because when we played Week 1, I made it that was my agenda to whatever linebacker was sitting over top of Pitts pre-play. I was using him, and I was using Kyle Pitts. So when he says, people are teaming him, that's kind of the weapon we look at. If you got a decent cornerback, you trust him to kind of keep Ridley afloat, but you want to try to keep, yourself on Pitts. But I think the experience, I think it'll be a 3-point game. I think it's going to be a real good game. Hopefully that's what we're hoping for. I think it's going to be a real good game. I believe Washington football team comes away with a 3-point win
Mm,
because of his stout defense.
mm. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. So I went and found out, exactly who Daniel Jones. I know who he is, obviously, but his stats and things of that sort. So I noticed that he has 88 speed and 89 acceleration. And I think when it comes to Dez, giving him that extra mobility in a quarterback is more dangerous than what we think.
I
Um,
agree. I agree.
so I think that what'll happen tomorrow is that D line is vicious. So I don't think you're running too far with Daniel Jones, actually. Not this game. But I'm hoping and I'm seeing in the future, and I don't want Carmen thinking, he's trash and he got to prove something. Well, you do, tomorrow is more of a statement game for Carmen than it is for Dez. I'll put it that way. I think
Okay.
if Carmen wins tomorrow, at that point will he get the legitimate stamp. But if Trevor Lawrence is coming to the Washington football team,
Oh boy, man.
then
Come on, man.
you are asking for a lot of trouble because I feel like he would go. I mean, sending Deion Jones off, you have the defensive line already. So giving Trevor Lawrence and knowing, and we're going to talk about longevity in the league, and because we have to talk about LD and Phil next, but given that, I believe if he get Trevor Lawrence, that's a project that you work on season 1, 2, and then 3 is go time with him. So,
Trevor Lawrence ready now.
I mean, yeah, he's ready to start now, but I obviously think that you build it, and I think you get another wide receiver for him and all that. But saying that, none of that has to do with tomorrow. Tomorrow is 3-0 Washington football team versus 3-0 Atlanta Falcons. I believe personally it's in Atlanta. In case you don't know, home field advantage does matter a lot this game. If you don't believe me, ask the Chiefs. And one thing about Dez is it depends which Dez shows up. If he's playing playoff football, you're in trouble. But your name is smacking bums, so I'm going to go and say that you're the one to get smacked tomorrow. I believe that there has not been any close games on Snipes TV. Falcons 27-10 tomorrow against the Washington football team. There has not been a close game on Snipes yet, and I do not think it will happen this week. So I'm going with the Falcons. I think that's the outcome for that one. T said Dez is overrated. We'll get to that later on, on another podcast. I don't know. I don't really know how to rate him, but I do want to talk about the word overrated. So, as of late, me and Ike, when we came out with these rankings, when we came out with these rankings going into this year, we thought about users, and we had to align the users with the best user in our head to, the worst user in our head, and we put Phil at 3. Phil he made the Super Bowl. He made the Super Bowl last year. He was the Russian champion, which I don't know, by the way, what's going on this year, but he was the Russian champion. He traded Raheem Mostert this Madden for some reason, and he said, has Phil won a game? Yeah, he beat Booze week 1, but I'm not exactly sure what's going on.
Week 1? Yeah, he overrated.
So I will say this. I remember last Madden PS5, Phil struggled year 1. He came out year 2 and year 3, and he went berserk. He was leading the league in rushing yards, top 5 defense. So right now he's going through Trey Lance, and maybe something's going on with his connection right now, but he's going through with Trey Lance right now. He's not having the best results. He plays the Seahawks. He's going to beat the Seahawks for sure. But I'm just not exactly sure what's going on. He's 31st in rushing yards. He's never been that bad. He's 17th in passing. He is 25th against the rush, but he has 9 touchdowns and 1 interception with Trey Lance. So I'm just a little bit lost exactly on what's going
He'll
on, but
turn into a passer this Madden because he got Lance.
yeah, I think that I think what's going on right now. I think what's going on right now is that Phil is really in the midst of something, and hopefully in the midst of something great long term. But right now, I have no regret at leaving Phil at number 3, and I have no regret saying that Phil will win the Super Bowl. I remember last Madden there was a worse Cardinals user. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna say this year. I think Eagles and Packers, they're two top users. So he was close to beating the Eagles. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that Phil will still make the Super Bowl this year. I believe
he was actually supposed to beat Ike, but
yeah, he was
folded.
yeah. And so I think he will make the Super Bowl this year, and I think that he will turn around. And I think it starts week 4. I don't think that Cardinals will sweep him. I think he will split with him. But more than anything, I really when it comes to the 49ers, I'm more confident than not confident. So I'm going to keep him at number 3. But if rankings came out today, he would not be on there in top 10. Nope. I will say that. He wouldn't be on there. So Phil, what's going on? You're not running the ball. Last year, 2 years back to back, I think you was top 2, season 2 and season 3 for PS5. You trade Raheem Mostert. You're coming out with Trey Lance. You have one of the best touchdown-interception ratios with Trey Lance. But you lose. But you lose the 2 top users. So, yeah, Colts are coming up next. You lose the 2 top users. So, what's going on?
That's debatable.
Oh, boy.
But, no, you know what it is. It's like... probably like a couple years ago, when you're running with the Baltimore Ravens, like that new quarterback, like when you got Lamar, that's that effect that you got. You don't want to.
That's the fan. Listen, that's the fan. Like, that's the fan in you. That's the fan in you.
Yeah.
So he said, "I don't understand." Phil, go ahead.
You don't. Yeah, I just don't like. It's that young rookie. I want to do the best I can with him, so I'm just giving him all the opportunities instead of. I was like, I ain't gonna run the ball, so I might as well trade Mostert. And you see what I got for him, though. Godwin is.
Yeah.
He's holding me down. I mean, he's doing what. I can't be mad about that trade. Don't be mad. Speed. You can't train that speed.
You can't train.
Well, Phil T said, I don't understand. Phil never won division. He went 1-5 against me last Madden. Pooty said he is truly a fraud. Reset. I always beat Phil ass. So my question goes to you is, I understand what that feeling is like, and I'm sure Ike is going through it with Hurts. I'm sure Dez is going through it with Kyle Pitts. I'm sure Reese goes through it with Aaron Rodgers. When you are a fan of a team and you have a favorite player, it is very hard to not want that player to excel. And I go through that all the time with Lamar. Even with Flacco, I traded it is literally a thing, and I'm glad to hear that it's not just me.
No, it's not just you. My main problem with this game right now is defense. I just can't figure out which defense to run. It's just like anytime I pick something.
About T's running from.
It's like the floodgates right now. Everybody touch the ball, they scoring. Like that's my main problem with the game right now. Me scoring on offense. Hey, I'm gonna do my thing. You see what Lance is doing, so they ain't gonna Lance's 9 touchdowns so far. Now the Seahawks is gonna be interesting because I'm gonna say this about him: he's not getting no airtime because he's terrible. But let me say this. Let me say this to Zizo. You beat very outside of Madden. It is very hard for me to believe that when you play Very, that you will be in the league after that. Very is going to run up that score so much because you came into this division, you talked all this trash, and then you jumped into a division with the Rams, who is not bad,
The 49ers, Phil and Truth had a similar mindset, old school football. If they are going to pass the ball, they may not make every pass, but whatever pass they make, you're not going to catch 13, 14 interceptions off of them probably in a year. And as for Vary, I mean, the dude, even with play call rule, is not changing his results. He's still undefeated. And he's still putting up gains. So for the Seahawks got a lot of answers to come to, and I feel bad for him because I thought when he jumped in that division that he actually had something coming, and everybody has 6 to 7 weeks to prepare for this. Talk about T's running from Reese from Vikes to Bills. He don't have it easy in the AFC though. I think a lot of people think he do, but when he runs into Joker
what team is
he's the Bills now.
Oh, Rob, who wouldn't want to make that move to the Bills?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, Diggs, like who want to? I mean, I don't blame him for making that move. Shit, I would have.
Well,
if I wasn't gonna get 49er.
I do want to talk about LD really fast, and I'm just giving him a little bit. He's 0-3. Played the Texans, Broncos, and Cardinals. I don't know what's going on. He's another top 5 user that we rank, and like I said, most of that is due. I mean, he made teams. Pooty says, "Shut up, Phil. You got the best team." But I believe.
Matter of fact, that you talking about LD? Go to his roster. Go to his roster and look at his quarterback. Cause I was trying to trade when he said Lawrence was on the block. I was trying to trade him, and I was just.
But my question is, why do you trade? Why do you trade somebody like Lawrence?
You don't trade a superstar.
Exactly.
Like you don't trade a superstar.
And that's what I mean. Like you're just trading it. Yeah.
And he said he got another quarterback already. So I need
my gosh,
even if I wasn't a 49ers fan and I ended up with 49ers, there's no way I'm trading Trey Lance.
I don't think that you can. I mean, wow. He's superstar.
Dimes, okay, that's debatable. I mean, some people might like him, some people might not. But it's not like this rookie, like even what's his name? What's his name on the Jets? He's having a good season.
Zach
Wilson.
Yeah.
Well, let me see something.
Trying to trade him, you don't do it. You don't trade key rookie quarterbacks because what's going to happen in the draft? You get a top 5 pick. What you going for?
Here's what I'm gonna say.
Why would you even do that?
Here's what I'm gonna say, and I'm looking at it now.
Not
Please,
even taking picks.
I know it's year 1, but please be careful because some of y'all have some high cap penalties. And I think with no regards for, like the Giants have a $34 million cap penalty and a $57 million cap penalty for next year. That's ridiculous.
That's what you need to look at next year because you're already in this year. So next year is where
Yeah, Patriots got $28 million next year.
See who the Giants got to pay next year.
Let me see. Saquon Barkley. Let me see.
Nobody else worth mentioning.
Yeah, nobody. I mean, but Saquon's gonna still want the house.
They loaded that receiver too, though.
Oh well, maybe he's good then. I mean, he don't have to trade. I mean, he's not. You're right. He don't have nobody else to sign. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
but if some key free agent hits the market, you ain't gonna be able to get.
You don't have no. That's the only thing. Yeah. I mean, so I would just be careful. I know a lot of people are trading, and I've traded one, but I've traded players that are very replaceable. But please don't beat them people to trade just to trade. I don't think Trevor Lawrence needs to go nowhere, no matter what. No. Cam Newton is not going to last you very long. I mean, then you're going to be drafting another quarterback. That's just a whole waste. But
not unless he's just a run first. He just is all in his mind is run first. That's
I don't know. LD had the Browns, and moving from the Browns to the Jaguars is a big move. But I think
you got to think he had Chubb and Hunt. So maybe he wants to be a run first team.
You got to be a baller to win with these fucking sorry ass teams.
Well,
yeah, in leagues like this, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. So one of the teams that's undefeated actually is the Indianapolis Colts. Quiet user, he's not making too much noise right now. But he is 4-0, and he beat Zizo and turned around, beat Truth by 1 point. He beat Wood by 7 points, and then he beat Maceo by 21. He plays the Ravens next. Then he heads to the Texans. Then he plays the 49ers and the Titans again. And then the Jets, of course. Why won't the commissioners get sorry teams?
That's booty. I know.
Yeah.
I don't even have to look at it. That's probably
A little bit.
Pooty
that
always
sound
talking
like a
shit, but
Pooty
he always
comment.
get his team
Yeah.
the Steelers.
He just
And he
sorry,
got his
bro.
team. He still got Steelers. That's his team. He knows Ike is a Eagles fan. I'm a Niners fan. He's a Falcons fan. You're everybody. We try to accommodate
get their
everybody,
teams.
give them their teams. And then not everybody in the league gonna be able to get their teams. Don't go somewhere, man.
Well, I'm gonna say this. As far as the Colts user go, I'm a little bit in the mixed motion with him because so Carson Wentz only passed the ball 44 times through 3 games, which means that through 4 games, which means that he's not passing the ball much. But Jonathan Taylor's having what's probably going to be a career season. He already has 408 yards on the ground, 5 touchdowns. Naheem Hines has 266, so he almost has just about 700 yards on the ground already. The passing game is non-existent for him, but defensively he has 12 interceptions and 8 sacks.
I watched that game that he just played, and Maceo is right about Tua. He's ass.
But I think what happens is, and this is when I say, like, the first few weeks is sometimes hard to judge users because it also depends on who they play. And sometimes the matchups too. There's been one time when, I could beat a great user. But another user couldn't beat him, but that user can beat me. And it's funny to me how matchups work in Madden. Like, it don't matter how good you are, there's some players that just you don't match up well against.
Yep.
And so, very interested in seeing what this Colts team do. And I think, next week when he comes to Baltimore, it's going to be very interesting.
You stop his run, he can't do nothing else.
Yeah, but that's easier said than done.
Mir has always been a runner, man. So that's what he's going to bring to the table. He's running that route.
Oh,
but it's
Mir
easy.
is the Colts?
Yeah.
Mir is the coach.
It's easier said than done, you know what I mean? No, like, because it's so many ways to run the ball. But talking about running the ball, I do got to jump over real fast. Cowboys, I don't know what's going on in Dallas. 2-2 right now. Too much talent on that team to be 2-2. But I do have them beating the Giants and the Patriots their next 2 games. JD is a decent user. Came in around 20th ranked. But
and that was more so because he didn't.
How many wins you got, Ike?
I got 2.
What Barry say?
I can go on record and say, that you probably got one win, but you want overtime.
You're a hater, Barry. That's what it is.
Field folded, and you got that beautiful Megatron type play from Rager at the end of that game. I was like, whoa.
Dez, I should have beat you, but I was getting ready for Snipes TV while we were playing, if you recall.
Bruh.
I mean, to be honest,
the first game that dropped, you was finna get beat by 50.
And then I had to, and for everybody listening, I had to keep giving him touchdowns and points. It was just, it was one of them games. Like, he won his points back. I'm in punt block. It was just. All right, this is what we're going to do week 1, and this is what we're going to do, man. But, she was on the other foot, man. I ain't doing no faggot stuff like that, man. We're going to start 0-0.
That's how wait a minute, what happened? Y'all was giving up points, and I'm sorry, I'm late to the party.
Nah, the game.
Wait a minute, they said I can. Look, they said I can Dez with boosting.
That's before the update. The game kept crashing.
It crashed like 3 different times. So, but they fixed it since then. But I earned my other 2 wins,
He
man. I
said the
mean,
Braves. He said the Braves are ass. Tell Dez that.
I earned my 2 wins.
Chill, bro. I'm
JD's
watching the game.
playing single coverage on 10 seconds left on 75
Mm-hmm.
yards to go. He deserves to lose that game. Why are you
Yeah,
making it three
yeah.
deep?
I give you that. But the way he ended that game though.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was screaming.
Shout out to you, Dre, by the way. But man, come on, man. I remember you had that Chargers team. You was rolling. Gosh, it's
Yeah,
hard to watch.
Dre 0-4. That mean that Giants team is. I don't know. I don't
Giants
know.
team not even bad.
I
I
know.
know, but it's hard to really
know.
watch that. But Reese is 4-0. You know, I keep going through the Panthers. Hey Raxy, whatever your name is, I don't know how to pronounce it, but come on,
Yeah.
let's kick a little bit better with Saquon Gilmore, Stephon Gilmore on the opposite side of the ball.
Hey man, he had a big win against Ra.
Yeah,
The Saints.
I see. I don't know what's going on with Rod right now. Joker.
I think he back drinking.
Oh God, don't do that.
Bruh.
Don't
Rodgers
do that.
won.
Joker.
Yeah, he did.
Joker. We're gonna talk about pretenders and contenders. I'm gonna start Phil off. Give me one pretender. Give me one contender, and then give me one pretender. If you know, yeah, out of the whole league. Because the whole league. Because there's a few years that may be 3-1 that you may not think
Come
can
back
kick
to
it.
me. I gotta
Or
look.
should
Let
I
me look at
just throw
it.
user's name out there and y'all just catch it?
All right. How about
Yeah.
Go to standings on the.
I'm about to look. I'm about to bring up standings because I gotta go check some of this.
Because I definitely want to talk about Tease. You know, we always have him in the middle of the pack, but is he really a contender or is he a? Let me go to.
If we talking about T's, I'm leaning more towards pretender because he can't stay out his own way, man. T's will find a play that work and he'll run that bitch all game. And you eventually catch on to it. It'll work like the first couple quarters, but that junk it'll start catching up on you. If he mix it up, he'll be better.
You know what's terrible? It's how much
What?
I pay attention to Madden. I can't even find how to look at the standards on Madden. Oh, terrible.
That's your age, Phil.
Yo, stop that. I'll still slap the shit out you.
So yeah, Mo, just throw some teams out. And
Yeah, throw some teams out. While my old self be trying to find this stuff.
So let me start off. Let's start off with Tease. You know, Tease right now is he's in the middle of the pack, right? You know, he's 3-1, I believe. I'm about to go show him. He's 3-1. He does have Dez pretender because he stayed losing in playoff around the same time. So, he beat the Steelers, he beat the Dolphins, and he beat the Texans. You know, 3 users that's not really doing too well right now. But he lost to the football team. He played the Chiefs next, who also is a contender as well, or pretender, we're not sure. But what about Tease? I mean, Tease is not, you went from the Vikings to the Bills, so definitely a upgrade offensively. Vikings, I got you. Give me 2 minutes.
So quick, Ma. Like when you say pretender, like am I saying like he's not making a playoff pretender?
So pretenders can make the playoffs. Pretenders can make the playoffs. The question is when you think of certain users, and I'll use myself for example.
One of y'all went to the train track there?
Remember somebody got earthquake? When I look at certain users, like let's say, like me, people can go back at me and be like, Maul makes the playoffs here and there, but he's a pretender. He's not really gonna contend. So when it comes to certain users, who has that Super Bowl fight in them? Let me put it that way.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead. I'm good.
So let's start off with Tease.
Pretender.
Okay. Vikings, I'm coming to you. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm coming to you in 1 second.
We folding this shit away.
Let's go to.
It's just like certain users like do certain things that basically help him. So I played Tease last year. Yeah, he got me a few times. But he's one of them users that remind me like Barry. They like manipulating the defenses. So in my eyes, they're pretenders all day.
Okay, so what about Chris? Chris is 4-0 right now. He's swimming right now with Zach Wilson. I mean, he's unstoppable with Zach Wilson right now.
I haven't seen none of his games, so
Okay.
I can't really. I'll let them go on that. I haven't seen.
I call him a pretender.
Okay, well,
Chris
let's find
playing
it.
well, but I don't think he can sustain.
T said a few times or 5.
I made Tease go to vacation. Tell him go.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
to take vacation last year. Tell him go sit down.
One of my favorite users of all time. I'm very interested in seeing what you got to say about Tad. I mean, what do you really? Can you see him in a Blitz Bowl?
No.
I can.
I can't. Well, you know what? I haven't watched him recently. Like
he's very heavily
I might have to watch
offensively.
some people's game. Like maybe next podcast when we come back to it, I'll start paying attention to some people's game. My work's been a little hectic.
It's cool.
The last couple of months.
What about the Browns? Crazy Ants. You remember last year you had the Cowboys. He's doing decent. He lost to the Chiefs 38-1, but he turned around and beat the Texans and the Bears, which is not saying much, by the way. But Vikings, I know you about to play the Browns, so I got you after they comment on this. Every Super Bowl will be Joker versus Very. All 30 users are pretenders. Well, I don't think that's the case.
Who said that?
Fucked up.
Chris.
Who said that?
Chris.
Joker, lucky he went to the AFC because in the NFC, you know I'm that kryptonite. That man can't. There's them matchups that you ain't gonna dominate me like he dominates the rest of the league. But then I could go play Woodrow and get my ass kicked. Makes no sense, but it happens.
So Very said that he needs somebody to challenge him in Blitz, because it's getting weak. T
Just
said
living off of last man and his little escape artist quarterback. He
boy.
can go sit down. So
T said I think anyone can beat anyone in this league except Gio. So I don't think no one's wow. So I don't think. I think Gio. I think if Gio really had more time, in my heart to heart, I feel like he might be alright. But I don't know how to feel. I don't know. Vikings say he needs an opinion before he plays the Browns. So Vikings versus Browns. Vikings is 2-1 right now. The Browns are 2-1. Here's the thing: you beat the Bengals barely, and you beat the Seahawks by a lot convincingly. Gio better than Zizo all day. I heavily agree.
Gio better than Zizo?
Yeah, I think he can be Zizo.
dang, who's
Zizo, you
Zizo?
is trash then, huh, brother?
Is Zizo who I'm
Zizo
about to play?
playing
Like, is that the one you guys about? Like, he's that bad? That's all.
Yeah, I really don't think he's, because he talked so much trash when he beat Very, that he jumped in his division, literally. I mean, the guy literally got
He beat
replaced.
Barry and Blitz Jr. When Barry don't have his superstar team, he beat him in there.
And sources, found out.
Okay.
Sources found out that it was Tease who was playing. That's what they
It's
say.
hard to beat them.
They said it was Tease. Yeah, they said it was Tease.
It's hard to lose with them Cardinals.
I mean, it's hard, you know what? But you know what? He beat him, and that's fine. Those games counted. But now that you're in a franchise for years, those games gonna hit different when you're playing twice a year. And I'm telling you right now, when Very run up against him, it's gonna be hard. But I know Brown's about to play Vikings. So here's the thing: you have 13 interceptions, 10 sacks. You're terrible on offense. You have 9 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. You almost 30th ranked in offense, but you 7th ranked in defense. When you play the Browns, you are playing against Nick Chubb, who is a total monster in this game. It does not matter who uses him. He's a total monster in this game. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, and Nick Chubb just got a +2 speed burst. So,
Oh God.
man, Nick Chubb is disgusting right now. So
And I'm
Plus
shocked.
2 speed bursts.
I want to
Yeah,
say this. I'm
that's
shocked
still
that you all are
upgrade.
using Kellen Mond over Kirk Cousins, and I don't know if it's because of I don't know if it's just the young quarterback develop thing, but
It's the yep, exactly
you
what it
you
is.
That's
you
what it
you
is.
you're struggling offensively right now, and you gotta get a little bit better. Um, and just as a
It's the speed.
reminder, yeah, maybe
And
two,
one more
maybe two,
thing.
yeah.
One more thing. Let's talk about that trade. He traded Dalvin Cook
What
for
did
Oh,
he
the
get?
Jaguars.
I forgot your crazy
He
self did
made.
that.
You
You know I
know
gotta talk
what?
to you about that.
That was a.
You know I gotta
I
talk to you
gotta
about
look
that.
back
What
Now
did
on
he
it
that's
because
get
I
though?
think he won that trade though.
He
What did
got
he
Jonathan
get?
Simmons, and
hold on. Let me
I
pull up
can't
He
this
remember.
got
trade up.
Somebody
two
would have to pull
people.
up that
You know you
trade.
can. You know you cannot be
I'm
trading.
going to look
Who
for it right now, but
I
he
mean,
was
is.
this?
running.
That
I
was a
Who
mean,
good
was it
trade
again?
I
Vikings,
will
right?
say
for
I have
him.
Vikings and Blitz Jr. and I traded Dalvin Cook also because they got a rookie running back who has 95
Oh wait a
speed.
minute. It don't have the trade on here unless I'm missing something.
It's right there.
It
It
it might.
it
You got it.
Uh,
it don't have it under mine.
It don't have it on the map. So what did he do? Can I?
Let me look. I got to look at his team. He got like 2 or 3 pieces for Cook.
I think he got a
Like
first.
Justin Simmons has
he
6
traded
Justin
interceptions.
Simmons is a
he
dog.
traded with the Broncos. It was Justin Simmons.
Okay.
Um,
Justin Simmons has 6
no, there was a
interceptions.
couple pieces.
Damn, he got 6.
He got 6 interceptions. Wait a minute. He
I'm
says,
gonna bring up his
"Oh, wait
roster
a
real
minute."
quick.
So Dalvin Cook got sent for Simmons and Hamler.
Oh shit.
Yes,
Okay.
and a pick. I'm pretty sure.
Well, here's the thing. Still, I mean, that doesn't change the fact that your offense
And
is
he got a
trash.
second round. He got a second round pick, KJ Hamler, and
And Justin
Justin
Simmons.
Simmons.
Yeah, I think he won that
Yep,
trade then.
he won that
And
trade.
and
And
then
when I
Simmons
saw it,
now
I was like,
is
Oh, and he got a second round pick. Wait a minute.
and he got a second round pick
and
for that.
Simmons now leads the
Damn.
league in interceptions.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Damn,
think
yeah,
he's
I
just
can't
about up
argue
there.
then.
I mean,
I
here's
can't
the
argue.
thing though.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. You can have a very good offense. You can have very good defense. But I would say this. I know Kellen Mond may be fast and any of that, but if you're looking to win now, Kirk Cousins is the answer. If I was you, I would put Kellen Mond in maybe on goal line situations. I was watching one game the other day. I forgot who it was, but they changed their formation. They did a quarterback run. And shout out to some of the users though that actually open their playbooks. I know I'm not one of them, but I like watching games where users like use their entire playbook. Like that's crazy. But Kirk Cousins, I would go with Kirk Cousins for against the Browns. There's no way you beat the Browns of Kellen Mond, and if you do, you can tag me. But there's no way you're going to beat him with that. He also has a tough D line. I mean, Nick Chubb, Mayfield. Don't forget he still got Beckham. I don't know how, and Swartz, who's a fast beast in this game. He has Clowney. He has Garrett. He has Olivier Vernon. I mean, I don't know, whatever.
I
And he
think
has
Brandon gone.
no, he's still there. And he got Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome, so he has a very good defense that's lined up for your struggling offense. So you're gonna stream this game, and we're gonna do these predictions. He's gonna stream this
When they
game.
kick it off? I
They
won't
about to
watch
kick
that
off.
game.
They about to kick off right now.
Oh, sweet.
We're gonna stream. We're gonna talk about these not these rankings, the schedule real fast for next week, and then we out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We didn't talk about your team this week. We'll talk about it next time. First game up is the Rams at the Seahawks. It's Truth versus Zizo. I'm going with the Rams.
Truth.
Yeah, I'm going Truth.
Rams.
So we got all Truth on that. Next up is the Jets at the Falcons. 4-0 versus what could be 3-1 or 4-0, depending on tomorrow.
I'll go Falcons.
Okay.
The only reason I'm leaning Falcons because I haven't watched the Jets. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna say Falcons. I haven't watched the Jets. I need to start watching some of these streams.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody
You
else
can't
that
say
has been
nothing.
streaming. A lot of people have been streaming,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, shout
All
out to
jokes
the next
aside,
league.
everybody's been
Yes.
streaming, and everybody's been so whatever. And I'm going to give Snipes a shout out at the end, but let's finish this. Booze versus the Vikings. Booze, you got to show up, man. I'm not one to
Vikings
take
gonna get
forces.
forced.
Yeah, I'm not one to take forces, but come on, man. If there's a lot of people
we'll
that
see.
want
We
in,
could have a
but
new user by tomorrow.
yeah.
That's in the air.
I'm gonna go Vikings right now.
I'm
just
going
'cause
Vikings.
I'm gonna go Vikings though.
Even though,
I'm going
even though
Vikings
that
with force
team,
win.
yeah, probably.
So next up is RA versus the football team. I'm gonna hold off on that just because I don't know how good the football team is. But
It's next week.
This is week 5 because we about to once tomorrow hits, we done.
Yeah, it's only like 3 games left.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this is next week. Saints versus what did Booze get for Hawkinson? I don't know. We can check that out right before I leave.
A third.
Something stupid.
Just remind me. Yeah, just remind me. But I'll check it right after. RA versus
This is like a third.
football team, and that's terrible that you gave him away from that.
I'll go football team.
Okay, I'm gonna go football team as well versus RA.
I'll go football. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with RA. You know, stepping away from Lamar Jackson can do a lot.
I'm taking RA in the points.
T said he is sending to Blitz headquarters that we need to start approving trades. I don't think that's fair for Hawkinson. Wait a minute, Hawkinson and Trey Flowers. Hold on. Hawkinson and Trey Flowers.
So let me ask a question on the mic in front of everybody. So if a user gets booted from the league in the same season they made a trade, are we doing like ask the new user, do they want to send that trade back? If it's like a big name player.
Since it's not in the rules, that gotta be something we discuss.
I just hope that players like you don't trade, and I hate to put it this way, and maybe I'm sending a shot.
First and a third for Trey Flowers and Hawkinson as well.
Oh wow, maybe I'm sending a shot at somebody, and it's not intentional. Stop trading players that are generational to that organization. Like there's no way that you can. There's no way that you can trade. I mean, like a Von Miller on the Broncos is a little bit different, or maybe but like a Russell Wilson, yeah, like you're trading players that are very.
You can't trade Russell, even you can't trade Murray. You can't.
It's just that's the only trades I hate. Like I don't hate trades where you trade a running back. Dalvin Cook, okay, listen, he can be replaced,
right?
But certain players belong like. There's no way that you can trade for certain, like, there's no way. So that's the only thing that gets to me is when people trade generational players. Like, there's no way, Lamar's not going anyway, but there's no way that I would trade, like, don't trade, he said, Allen for Jalen Hurts. Yeah, okay. But I'm serious, not saying I've seen it in this league, but I've seen it. Don't trade, don't do that. Now, I really do think D-Mac is going to trade. I do think D-Mac is going to trade. I think D-Mac is going to trade what you calling, by the way. I really do. He said this is Boo's third strike. Oh, wow. All right, UT. I got to shout you out, by the way.
You can step
He only likes UT league because it was easy to win, man.
Yeah, but that was in a different league, Chris. I would never do that in a mainstream league that I'm in. Maceo versus UT, who, by the way, UT is having a field day with Brady. I mean, he's having a field day with Brady. I mean, obviously it's expected, but he's really doing much better.
I'm gonna go UT because they be cheating for the
Who is it? Buck versus Maceo?
Yeah, Bucks versus Maceo.
Just traded two away, right?
Josh Dobbs not beat.
Pooty says send Devontae Smith for Juju in the second.
What you want?
Packers at Bengals. Oh, I'm going with Packers. I just don't know who's gonna stop the Packers. I mean, we'll see after a while.
I'm going with Reese right now.
We'll see right now.
So
yeah, Reese rolling right now.
This next game, I want to circle. Trash Talk Central. T-Day versus Pooty. Pooty, if you lose this game, you drop to 1-4. You drop to 1-4. You have to prove to everybody that this trade really means something, because I feel like Tua is going to be hard for you left-handed. It's not easy, and I learned this from playing in practice mode with him. It sucks being left-handed, and I'm left-handed myself, but it sucks being left-handed with a left-handed quarterback, because there's certain throws in your mind you don't feel like you can make. Whereas if a standard, right-hand quarterback, you usually out here, but Tua's not fast. I'm taking T-Day. I think T-Day gets back to this running game with Dalvin Cook. You traded for him. Why not use him? That's crazy.
I'm going T-Day on that one, too.
Okay. Who's not going to be able to control that rollout?
What team is T-Day?
T-Day's the Broncos.
Mr. Hike and Dash.
He said, but y'all let Los go 2 seasons with Tua right-handed. Well, Chris, I want to be honest. I don't think nobody was expecting him to do it right-handed.
Nobody knew that, and it was only like 6 games. Don't pick Chris. Oh, trust me. Move on.
You know what? I'm going
next up.
Pootie. I'm going with Pootie. Pootie gonna win that one. That's my pick.
Pootie got to
I'm
win,
picking
honestly. I don't know what's going on, but he's a little bit better. But we'll see. Anyway, next up is the Eagles and the Panthers. I'm going with Ike has.
I'm going Panthers.
I got to win this game, man.
Ike.
You know, this is.
Wait to
I'm
schedule
going
this game.
I'm going Panthers, bro. Only reason I'm going Panthers
That is so
because like Ike been skating away by the skin of his teeth with these last games, man.
Man, what does Ye have on you, man? I beat him.
Oh, reset T-Day cannot pass, and Pootie can get to the QB. I agree with that. He said Pootie wins. I agree with that. I think Pootie definitely.
I told you I'm going Pootie.
So Reese and Phil with Pootie?
Reese going Pootie. Yep.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna
Pootie.
drop the money line. Let's get them bets going.
Drop the money line. You're gonna get Pootie a plus whatever. I'm taking Pootie outright.
No, Pootie favorite.
No, he wouldn't be the favorite. He wouldn't be the favorite. I don't think Daddy League will put him my dad will put him the favorite. So next up is the Titans and the Jaguars. I remember early in the season they were jabbing at each other. I'm gonna say that Wood is passing the ball, by the way. But I'm gonna say that Wood is Julio's injured, I think.
Oh, is he?
I believe so.
Oh yeah, he did get hurt.
I'm gonna say Wood. I think Wood.
Surprised.
I think Wood quite motivated from yesterday's. Well, no, he would have won today then, but. You got Derrick Henry, Julio on the side. Come on.
I got LD winning. I think LD get ready to put a run on here.
He got
likes
you,
to
man.
Get a feel of his team and get the pieces he likes.
He got you, man.
I think
I'm
he
gonna
get
go with
ready.
Jags. Yep.
I think he get ready to win like a 8-9 type of run, 7-9 type of run.
But that's the runs that he's in. The Titans. Julio out for 6 weeks. Golly, yeah. Browns and Chargers. D-Mac, it's over. Crazy Ants wins. Now, I will say this, and I'm going to say it, and then in a few weeks, y'all going to be like, wow, really? D-Mac will trade Joey Bosa and Justin Herbert very soon. They will be gone. I know how D-Mac works when he gets frustrated. They will be gone.
D-Mac seems educated though. It's like he knows his players. He won't even buzz for Derwin, yo.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe he changed. Maybe it changed, man.
I hope he doesn't. Because
it's no reason to trade
is
Herbert.
Tough to give up.
Boy, I wish I had Herbert.
I feel like I'm getting somebody. I feel like someone offered me, like he was trying to come at me for picks for Warner. Like I'm gonna do that. Like, man, I'm not trading Warner for no draft pick for some unknown.
You ain't gonna
Not
draft
no
nobody.
superstar.
Chris is not.
That's
Chris,
24.
I don't think that D-Mac's a Chargers fan. D-Mac is a Steelers fan.
Yeah, he's
Now,
fan.
Yeah, but still, Herbert's like what, 23?
Oh, he's a beast.
Like
He's a beast. Even in the real world, he's a beast.
Man, I would
He's
love
a
to have
beast.
Herbert,
Exactly.
man.
He's a beast.
Killing me, man.
I'm going to say this. I want to say this. He's a Steelers fan. Yeah, he is. I want to say this. Owen, all you got to do is play prevent defense. Because you play Joker next, and he is going to do everything he can
Wait,
to pass.
Joker Owen play next week?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
Owen about to cuss him out. Owen, listen. This spread right here is Raiders are favored by 37 points. Because
Are you serious?
I believe that Joker is about to go to town. I believe the Joker's about to go to town on Owen. Because when Owen played, and I'm guilty for this, but I respect Snipes, by the way, who I'm about to talk about very soon before we end this thing. Snipes made one thing, and he said that when you keep rolling out to the left and right, if you watch Owen versus what is his name? You watch Owen versus
Truth.
I
Truth.
heard it. I remember seeing it. Yep.
And that's all. And that's all that he kept saying was, listen, Owen is running side to side, running left, running right. I do the same
Looking
thing,
for the
but
crossers.
he said the
That's
great
it.
So
users
do Owen
will.
and T-Day play the same? Are they that much of
No.
friends that they play the same?
I think they friends, but I think T-Day is the better. Well, I don't know. Owen, like I said, is matchups. Owen can beat T-Day, but T-Day can beat
Right.
the better users.
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
Joker
But that's-
favored by 13 as of right now.
Shoot.
All right, so what's
Yeah,
You said 37. I was about to say,
Listen, you wait for
I
it.
give
You
him
wait for it.
13 though. I give him 13 still. I go with
Yeah, okay.
Joker plus 13.
Well, next week, Phil, you know,
I mean, minus 13. That would be.
we have a game that we want you to pay attention to. You play Very. And going into the season, Phil, I had you locked in as my Super Bowl pick.
year one?
For year
Forget
one.
about it.
You know, everything's starting to erase
He
itself,
started to
Phil.
question it.
But I got a little bit of faith because
I'm gonna stick with it a couple more weeks.
I got a little bit of faith. I just
and
don't
that-
know. I
in
just
that
don't know.
game,
Go ahead.
Very, very favored by 12.
I don't think he's going to beat him by 12.
Ooh.
I think this will force Phil to start running the ball. There's no way that he's about to give Very the ball as much as he wants to give. And when he plays Joker, what I noticed about Phil is that he takes up so much clock that by the time Joker get the ball, Joker gets irritated. He just wants to throw the ball down the field. He gets very
They
agitated.
don't run the ball no more though.
But I think this is going to adjust
I think
him.
I'm averaging like 3 carries a game right now.
He's getting that Trey Lance fever.
Man.
He getting that Trey Lance fever.
I'm
do that,
telling you,
Joker.
I can't help it right now. I can't help it.
Golly.
It's the Trey Lance. It's a Trey Lance show over here.
I'm going
You're
to
a real
go.
superstar. What you trying
I'm going to
get
go
involved
with 49ers plus 7. That's my lock in. Plus 7. I don't think the Cardinals will blow him out. I think, still got some sense of defense, but it's up to y'all. Y'all listen.
My defense right now, it's just like the floodgates. That's just crazy, wide open.
Schedule with Roxy.
But go ahead, y'all can.
He's scheduled with Roxy right now, yo.
Okay.
He's Johnson.
Roxy gonna beat
Johnson.
him, bro.
Johnson the Johnson the Cowboys.
You said who?
Cowboys.
Johnson the Cow. I don't know. I mean, Dre got to come on, bro. Come on.
I'm going with JD.
As of right
Dre,
now,
what is
the way
going
he's
on?
down, because I know his team probably looks like my team. I got a bunch of red arrows pointing down on my roster. I'm gonna go Cowboys.
Now I had a game of the week.
Cowboys is too talented. They got a lot of talent on that team.
I had a game of the week as the 49ers and the Cardinals. But there's something about this Bills-Chiefs game that I'm really feeling. And
Cheese and Tad play next week.
it's about to be a Diggs versus Kelsey, Hill, and whoever else they have on the offensive side. Tad is about to annihilate Tease. I just
You think?
yeah, I think
It's
he
gonna
is.
be worse.
What's
It's
the
gonna be
I think
worse.
he's because I think Tad thing is when he gets the ball, what can you do to Tyreek Hill? It takes I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it takes a season to slow down Tyreek Hill. After season 1, that's when the crash start happening because everybody like, you know what? I already know what to do. They telling Chris saying take away PA post shot, but you don't know what's going on. And Carmen said he don't throw to Diggs. Did he trade Diggs?
Nah, he ain't want to take my
I know he was talking about it, but he did say like a week or two ago, in Madden, probably like 2 weeks ago that
You gonna
he
need
don't
Diggs in
use
the playoffs,
Diggs.
man. You gonna
He was
need
like,
that
I don't
reliable-
use
Yeah,
Diggs. He's
yeah.
on the
Listen,
ball.
I don't
Spread
think
on
people
that game.
understand. I don't think people understand that there's certain
Boy,
players that you're gonna
97
need. Yeah, certain players that you're gonna need.
Only 2 points.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man.
Mahomes was hitting everything.
Yo, Mahomes is out like.
Oh my god, dog.
Yo,
And then to
Mahomes
watch
is like
Hurts
that up.
miss,
You
that
thought
was-
you
it's
got
just
beat bad.
demoralizing.
You thought you got beat bad. T's finna get beat worse.
Man, that
We gonna see. I'm requesting that that gets streamed. I think Tad has been streaming a lot anyway.
Yeah, Tad's
Before we
streaming
get to
everything.
Snipes TV though, I'm gonna ask this. So the last game is me versus the Colts.
That's gonna be a good game.
That's gonna be a good game. I think Colts
I'm gonna
is
take
going
the
to probably, but not gonna happen in my eyes. But the Colts really are good user as far as I think matching up against me. I think offensively, I'm having trouble getting it started, but I found a way to get it passed. But defensively, I've been having the worst. I think I'm the number one offense, but I'm the 32nd ranked defense, and that's never good. So we'll see what happens. But I do want to say this and end it with this. Tomorrow we have Snipes TV. Here's what I say to people, and I'm just gonna put it out there. I know Snipes had brought up something yesterday about appreciating and things of that sort. Please understand this, that when we put together the Snipes TV thing, it's something that we pay for. And a part of that was also, taking the league kind of to the next level and putting a different level on, Madden leagues. He does it for a few leagues. And Snipes there's not one person that can say Snipes is bad at what he does. Snipes, TTC, then he got that touchdown vibration that he does, and it just then he do the replays. He puts his heart. He puts his heart in it. And so the only thing that you have to do is, if there's a big game on the schedule, what we did yesterday was prove the fact that, hey, if we see a special game on the schedule, we'll reach out to Snipes and be like, hey, can we fit this in? If we can fit it in, we'll fit it in. If Snipes can fit it in, we'll fit it in. But shout out to everybody. Everybody's been supporting and watching. I've seen users love it, and I'm glad that y'all like it. But if you really want to be on Snipes TV, it is very easy to be like, bro, I want to be on. I know we got T's. I know we got Chris that got to come up. I know we got, obviously all the commissioners. Our goal is to put everybody on.
Everybody, Barry, Joker, everybody, T's. I know there were a few ones that want to get on. We're gonna touch base with everybody.
And my goal is every time we do a matchup, we want some type of interview or something to play before the game. It kind of gives insight to everybody. Last time we streamed it publicly. This time it probably won't be that way, but it kind of gives insight to everybody. So all you gotta do is get an interview, have good internet, be able to stay up past 10 o'clock. Chris, if you can't stay up, don't worry about it, because I'm speaking to Snipes, and he's about to start streaming day games. So if you want to be a part of it, be a part of it. If not, support it. It is. Thank you to Snipes. I mean, he's one of the most kind people you ever really meet. I mean, he loves Blitz. Shout out to Sodom Bowl. They show a lot of love to Blitz all the time. And so that's what I wanted to say. Tomorrow we have the Falcons versus the football team. In times like this, advance will be held just for Snipes TV, obviously just for these days, but maybe next week will be something different. But start hitting up your opponents. Once Sunday hit and you like, hey, we might be maybe one or two more advances from here. Let me hit up my opponent and see if he can play Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Exactly. It doesn't matter the records. It doesn't matter that. But when we have to choose, we have to go by the best game we think in our mind. But if you want to be on Snipes TV, say it. We want Joker on there. We want Very on there. We want everybody on there. But more than anything, all the support. I think we had 100 and something views yesterday. And that was like at 10 o'clock. Yeah, that was at 10 o'clock. So, stupid crazy. Go ahead.
And if you, any social media, anything you want, just drop it. Drop the link. When we post it, copy it, drop it somewhere. Again, it's more exposure to not only just Blitz League, to Snipes as well. I mean, I've got a couple guys like, this is dope, man. Is there any way I can,
Somebody yesterday said it. Yeah, somebody was on the stream saying it yesterday.
Yeah. So I mean, myself, I dropped it in all the recruiting chats. I think I dropped it in our Pick'em chat, just to give again, not just exposure for Blitz, but Snipes itself, and just to see people.
He said, I sent the link to all my leagues. They're loving it. Thank you, Mark. That's the Vikings user. Mark said he sent the link. Yeah, that's the thing. To piggyback on what Ike's saying, I just think making Madden. Madden at one point was just about winning, and Vikings and Browns about to kick off. But Madden at one point was just about winning. But it's about excitement to me and the graphics and things of that sort. So the more that if you realize how much is put into the league, that's why we want active users and things of that sort, because nobody wants to. People is waiting lists, so people want to get in and make it work. But I know we got to get out of here because the Vikings and the Browns are starting. So thank you all for tuning in.
Vikings-Browns game, fellas. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm probably going to play Seahawks, too.